There's a version of shopping that doesn't feel like a chore, and Podium Edmonds is it. You walk in, Nick, the owner, greets you.
What's up, dude?
Massive Sounders fan. Probably someone you've already argued with or agreed with in our comment section at some point. And suddenly, you're 45 minutes deep into a conversation about the latest Sounders news, and you haven't even looked at the clothes yet.
Let me show you around.
And then, you do look around, and everything in there is the kind of thing you buy once and keep forever. Filson, Red Wing, Heritage, Taylor Stitch, Portuguese flannel, nudie jeans, wax London, domestic and European brands, built properly, meant to last. They're at 114 4th Avenue North, right in the heart of downtown, and Nick is going to take good care of you. LobbingScorchers.com/podium. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your post-match live for Matchday 21 in Major League Soccer. The Seattle Sounders just lost again. Let's count them up. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row in league play. Is that right? I don't even know anymore. But needless to say, it's another defeat for Seattle. We're going to be coping. We're going to be rationalizing. We're going to be spinning the Schmetzer presser as soon as it starts, which it looks like it's about to do in just a few minutes here. So we'll be getting into all of it. I'll be taking calls as well. Where do we start with the state of affairs right now? This game was something of an inflection point for Seattle in the sense that the schedule is not forgiving coming up. You're already on a club record losing streak. And you've got some tough games. You're about to go on the road to Cincinnati. You're about to play the Chicago Fire. Those are two good teams with talented players. Which is to say you kind of had to win this game. Both for the vibes, obviously, but also for the reality of that points are going to be hard to come by. So with that in mind, the hope was for a resurgent effort from this team in attack. The hope was that putting a Roldan in the midfield could help things. And just to give my initial thoughts, in the first half, none of that panned out at all. That first half was a tough watch. There's no way around it. The second half was slightly better in the sense that Seattle put some shots on target and scored a goal. Shout out Stu Hawkins. We're going to talk about that. But in the end, it's another L. And how much coping or rationalizing can you really do when the extent of the improvement was you almost tied at home against Austin FC, who, are they a good team? No, not really. 1 second, I'm getting the presser info. Two minutes on the presser, so I'm not going to get too deep into my monologue. I'm out here hanging out with the Seagulls. They're squawking again. Guys, the press conference is about to start. You shut up. Yeah. Squawk and fly away. Yeah, that's what I thought. Squawk and fly away. Squawk and fly away. I'm about to squawk and fly away. That's what I feel like doing. I want to do what that guy's doing. The presser is about to start, ostensibly. I will pull that up right when Schmetzer gets cooking. I'll be interested to see his disposition because on one hand, like I said, I do think if you are grasping at straws, the effort and the attacking performance in the second half was better than the low bar that has been set over the past few weeks. But it's also there's no moral victories like that right now. You need to win a game. I'm actually kind of on the same page. Remember when Rusnák said a few weeks ago, the performances don't matter. We just need to get a win. And I said, why don't we stack some good performances and then see where the chips fall results-wise? But that's kind of how I felt tonight. It was just like, you just have to get a win by any means necessary. And they couldn't do that. They got bammed on twice. The second goal that Austin FC scored, I have no idea how that went in. So that is a bit of a frustration coming out of this game, is that if that goal just hadn't gone in, I thought it went in the side netting from where I was sitting in the PB. It looked like it went off side netting, and I wasn't even considering the notion that it went in until Brandon Vasquez and the gang started celebrating it. But if you don't concede that wacky goal, then the Stu Hawks equalizer actually salvages you a point, which wouldn't have really done much in the standings. But I think that would have helped morale-wise. You could feel it when Stu scored that. The crowd, a lot of whom had already left, but the crowd that was left here got some juice from it, and there was a couple good chances at the equalizer in the aftermath. So that makes it more frustrating. But again, as a seagull flies right at my face again, these guys won't leave me alone. Again, like if you're hanging your hat on, man, we would have won to Austin FC at home if Brandon Vasquez hadn't bammed from a really tight angle. That's not a hat hangable occurrence. You cannot hang the hat on that. Not as far as the standings go. People thought Vasquez was offside. I only watched one replay so far, and he didn't look offside to me. Sorry, I'm going to try and move this light. Is that better? It's light on my face. I thought he was on. Either way, again, I'm not so sure that really matters. We don't know what would have happened if that hadn't counted. Maybe they close up shop. Maybe they defend that set piece, that butterfly effect. Anyway, here's Schmetzer. Let me know if the audio is good on this.
Said so eloquently. There's no positives here. I mean, you're going to go and say Stuart Hawkins, first professional goal for the first team. And you can say that. You can say we had higher expected goals than our opponent, more shots, possession. We are just looking at, all of those stats that right now I could care less. It's just, it's super frustrating that we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net to score the first goal, because I think if we score the first goal, I think the outcome of the game is completely changed.
Brian, your team showed some sense of urgency towards the end there. Is that part of like maybe trying to get the players or the staff to play with sense of urgency when the whistle blows first, as opposed to
They've never quit, Moz. I don't think you could say any game. There was some chatter about Toluca where we didn't look very fresh. But that was a different beast. But this game, the last game, Chivas game, Querétaro, maybe the Portland game, maybe that first Portland game on the way back, you could say that wasn't our you know best performance, and maybe we should have done a little bit better coming out of the World Cup break. Maybe that's on me. I can accept that criticism, but the team doesn't quit. It's just they got to find a way for one guy to have a bit of quality. Their second goal, comes right on the heels of Albert. A shot he scores 9 out of 10 times. In it, we can't score, and they go down and get a free kick, and Paul doesn't want to clear the ball out. They get it, they win it back, and They get a guy flying in the back post, puts it between Andrew's legs. I mean, it's tough when you watch that stuff, Moz. It's tough. But, reality is we've taken our loss at home. And now we got to go to Cincy. And, we're going to put them back out on the field and they're going to perform. No question in my mind about that.
Jada.
Thanks for the time, Brian. Is this a matter of just the team has to kind of work through this, or are there any formations, things like that can maybe even help the situation right now?
Well, we tried a tweak today that didn't really come off in the first half. We were moving Paul up front, and we actually played 4-diamond-2 in the first half, but it wasn't great. Some of that might have been personnel, somebody, because look, the first half I thought, Alex and, some guys, Peter struggled a little bit, even Albert gave away a few balls. So I don't know if that was the formation that was at fault there at the end of the game when we put Osaze on with 2 forwards, played 4-4-2. I mean, we're trying different things. We tried a back line of 5 the other day. We'll keep after it to see if we can't figure out a near-term solution until the guys come back, and then when the guys come back, we'll reassess that as well.
All right, we'll go front row over here, starting with Nico Moreno.
Brian, I just wanted to know what went into the decision to let Jackson Reagan stay in the game after the first care, and is there a
He's fine.
there's no injury?
He wanted to play.
Why did he come off in the second
Because
time?
his knee was getting a little more sore. He hyperextended his knee, and he's fine.
Coach, the team kind of looked like it came out on the front foot to start the second half. I know you've said that, defensively you want to come out looking that way. Or any positives to take from the early second half particularly?
Well, Snyder Brunel came on, and there's another guy that, carrying a little bit of a knock, and he's been, he's carried a lot of heavy minutes. So we decided to give Seba Gomez a start in a, diamond midfield. And, again, Seba was okay. But as soon as Snyder, got in there with Alex, I think we were able to, get out of some tough spots, and Snyder was getting the ball and turning, and putting them under some pressure. So credit to the kid.
Nico Antoon.
Brian, it's obviously been a frustrating summer for Sounders fans, but what would your message be to the front office with the lack of summer signings over, not just over the years, but this year especially?
Well, look, I know where you guys are going with these questions, but I'll clarify one thing. So there have been ongoing discussions between myself and Craig and Adrian for quite some time about the roster of the squad. And so we'll put that to bed because there has been talk about it. If you want to talk about the lack of action, again, I said in my presser earlier today, maybe there's some things on the horizon. I know they're working on some things. Hopefully some of these things can maybe materialize, but it's not from a lack of us discussing possibilities, outcomes, the way the season started, the way the season ended, winning a championship last year. We're almost guilty of success, because if you go back to, 2022, we won it. 2023 maybe was conference semifinals, and maybe that's a step down for us in this franchise. 2024, we're 8 minutes away from getting into extra time. I mean, Alex gives a bad ball away, but we get a guy who's on an ACL tear, and, Joveljic scores a goal, but we're 8 or 9 minutes from going into extra time to seeing if we could host MLS Cup again. In 2025, we beat Messi and their squad in front of 70,000 people. And so I get it. People want new things and they want new signings. I understand all of that. And I'll go on record as saying, yeah, we need some fresh blood in here. That's obvious. But don't think for a second that we haven't talked about it.
All right, we'll go George and then Callahan.
Coach, I wanted to know your opinion of the supporters because it seemed like they were
Of the
behind
what?
the supporters, the fans. They were behind the team and they were cheering on the team. And what are the objectives of the season from now until the end of the season?
What are the objectives? The objectives are to get the team back. The objective is to make the playoffs and try and go in the playoffs. That's American sports and win MLS Cup. That's the objective. The fact that the fans supported the players is exactly what our fans do. They might be upset with me. They can be upset with Craig. They can be upset with Adrian. That's totally fine. But the players haven't given up on the fans. And the fans tonight, I thought, were exceptionally loud, even when Austin scored their goal. And you could tell that the players were feeding off some of that. And they put their best effort to try and score. So, again, I keep saying this, the connection between the players and the fans is still strong.
Callahan.
So you started off Peter Kingston sort of in the central area, and then you moved him towards the wings. What have you seen from Peter Kingston as far as where you think you should play him, as far in the center or on the wing? Is it sort of natural area?
He's the jack of all trades right now because he has to fill in multiple positions just because of the situation we find ourselves in. The right-hand side in the second half, Peter Kingston has played right back and right wing, and Kalani and him were just the message to them at halftime was one guy goes forward, the other guy goes back. If he goes forward, this guy tucks in. One guy in the pocket, the other guy wide. And as a tandem, we were trying to create some overloads and some problems for them defensively.
Okay, coming to one on Zoom. Felipe Makeda, please go ahead and ask your question and bring yourself off mute.
Thank you. Coach Brian, looks like the team had decent first half, but the second half was really good in my opinion. And things happen. You made a substitution at half, and then you put Denny and Osasi at the same time. And then the team towards the second half, towards the end, show a lot of hunger, show that they wanted to tie the game. The team show that they want to change things. Does that give you any hope that these players that you said are inexperienced or the lack of experience, does that give you any hope that things can change?
I've always had hope in the squad and faith in the players that we have. It's a good team. Yes, we need to have some reinforcements, but that's a good team. What I reminded them early as we were going out to warm up in my pregame speech was that we started the season off 6-1-1. There's no reason why we cannot get everybody healthy and again try and get a streak like that going again and give us some momentum going into the playoffs. So the belief in the squad has always been there, Felipe.
Hello. El equipo mejoró hoy en actitud y en fútbol. Ya se intentó jugar con el equipo A, con el equipo B, y no se han logrado resultados. ¿Qué más falta intentar?
The team improved today in both attitude and game. But we've tried with the A team, with the B team, with no results. What else or what more can we try?
Well, we're going to continue to try because that's our job. The players get paid to play on the field, entertain the fans. We as coaches get paid to, do our jobs, try and give them the right tools to be successful, to have confidence, to do all of that. So we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep trying new formations because there's a lot of guys that played heavy minutes and we have to travel to Cincinnati. So some more young guys are going to get a chance. So we'll again, try and get the best team that we can possible for Cincinnati and try and win the game. It's our job.
Vamos a continuar probando, vamos a continuar probando jugadores. A los jugadores les pagan por jugar y por seguir intentando. A nosotros los coaches, los entrenadores también nos pagan por seguir intentando y seguir probando nuevas fórmulas. De tal forma que vamos a seguir tratando nuevas formaciones. Vamos a continuar dándole oportunidad a los jóvenes jugadores para tratar de conseguir resultados y vamos a ir a Cincinnati a tratar de ganar y nosotros vamos a seguir trabajando.
We have time for a couple follow-ups. Over to Jada first.
Brian, you had mentioned that some of the players, Christian and I believe Jordan and Asani, might be close to returning, and you wanted to kind of delay that to the Cincinnati trip. Is that are they any closer, or is that still possible?
We'll make a final decision tomorrow. What I don't want to do, Jada, is make a bad decision because we're in a bad mood and we lost 2 home games, and then re-injure them. That would not be good. So I'll triple check with the medical staff. I'll talk to the players like I normally do, and then we'll make a decision tomorrow.
Last one to Moss.
Brian, I haven't been to your practice sessions for a minute, so how are the practice sessions just in terms of your players, the intensity and their will to win? Because it begins there and then carries over to the game.
Practices have always been good. Right now with fixture congestion, you can't do a lot. A lot of times it's through film, through walkthroughs, a little bit of, physical rehabilitation because they played, a lot of minutes, heavy minutes. So, I think the players have always applied themselves. I'm not complaining about that. No, just, they train hard. Guys try. Maz, they try. I'm gonna support those guys in that locker room. I think they try. We just need to figure out a way how to, be a little bit sharper and clearer in certain moments. And I think guys are feeling the pressure. Guys are trying to do a little bit too much. Again, we'll go back to trying to simplify the game for them, give them real specific instructions as to what we want, and then they have to execute.
That concludes tonight's post-match press conference. Thank you for your time. The locker room is open for media access with the players. Thank you.
There you have it from Brian Schmetzer. Guys, who's excited for a road trip to FC Cincinnati with a rotated squad? Doesn't that sound like fun right now? As you try to snap an 8-game losing streak, which is honestly not easy to do in MLS. I think the record is 12. Let's see if the boys can make it to double digits. But in all seriousness, if there was a win on the schedule coming up in the next couple weeks, we looked at the schedule. This needed to be it. So that makes it all the tougher. Apologies for the audio at the beginning of the presser there. That was my fault. I had him muted. But what you missed was Schmetz saying essentially there were no positives from the game. Which I think is about the right way to look at it. Again, you could say that the second half, at least they were XG merchanting a little bit, whereas in the first half they were not. They didn't have a shot on target in the first half, which put them at 1.5 games of soccer without a shot on target. And then in the second half, they put 4 shots on target in the first 10 minutes. So, that was something that happened. And then a couple of the shots on target tonight were actually pretty good chances. Snyder had one, and then I want to say Albert had the other, where their backup goalkeeper, that was their backup goalkeeper, by the way, he made a couple good saves. They weren't the greatest chances I've ever seen, but they were better than the chances that this team has been generating. And then they do score a set piece goal. It was cool to see Stuart Hawkins score his first MLS goal. Happy for Stu. Been pushing the Stu agenda, have we not? This is why you listen to Lobbing Scorchers. Stu Hawkins scored a goal. The team scored a goal finally. And then after the goal, Kalani had a little kind of chance there. But I don't bring any of that up to actually, again, hang the proverbial hat on it. That's kind of my point, is like, all of those things are true, but where does that really get you when you're playing Austin FC, one of the worst teams in the league, at home, and you get absolutely bammed on by Brandon Vasquez? It just doesn't get you very far. And now you have to go to Cincinnati with a rotated squad. They have some guys. They have Evander. I felt like defensively in the first half, it was a little better than it has been too. It was a classic little 0.2 to 0.3 expected goals at the half. But then in the second half, you get bammed on twice. So I don't know. I know I'm not doing very hard-hitting, in-depth analysis right now, but when you're on 8 L's in a row, a lot of which have looked very similar, what do you say? I mean, you could point to a mildly improved second half, I guess, if you want. I'm not even trying to point to that right now, though. I'm going to go through these super chats, and then I'm going to toss the call link in. Need you all to pop in short order because I'm running a little double duty here tonight. So need you all to help me out with some co-hosting duties. But I'll toss that link in. I'll toss the link in right now, and then I'll start letting you guys on when the queue's filled up. But there's the link. Hop on in. Give us your takes. I'm curious, guys. What are your takes on Schmetzer? Someone asked him about you guys see that? Someone asked him about the front, like if he had had dialogue with the front office, and he gave a lengthy answer that not anticipating many of you to find to be satisfactory, but he did give one. He got asked it. I think it was Nico Antun on the question there. It was a good question. I see Tribe and Sawyer and Mauricio all in the queue, so I'll get you guys in here in a second. I'm just going to hit the super chats first. Nathan with the $2. Thank you. He says, Stu is your Seattle Sounders summer signing number 9. Number 9 and number 10, frankly. He scored the goal tonight, but he's also the best probably passer on the team right now, too. Put him at the 10. Put him at the 6. Put him at the 10. Put him up top. Put him wherever. That was one funny observation about tonight, is it did feel like there was a lot more darts getting thrown at the board. You had Paul Rothrock, like, drifting a lot more centrally. He was, like, false 9, 10-ing a little bit at times. You had Pete Kingston listed as in center midfielder, but he was like flanking out wide. And then the second half, he moved to wide back, which is where I like him better. Nouhou at one point was playing right back. You guys see that? What was that? I don't care at this point. Like I've achieved nirvana, but like why? I remember looking down and being like, why is Nouhou at right back? Why is? Again, who cares? But it's just not something I expected to see. Night Wolf with the 5, thank you. Says, Jordan here. Oh, what's up, Jordan? Ownership has failed us, letting so many players go and not signing anyone. It feels like they might fire Brian before getting him players. Yeah, I don't know. He does keep hinting. That was what was funny about his answer at the presser to the question tonight. Was he kept saying, "Well, yeah, we've obviously discussed it. We have verbally talked about it. We're not going to do it, but we have verbally discussed it." You like took exception to the notion that someone might have implied that they hadn't talked. I don't think anyone was questioning whether they've talked about it. Was anyone questioning that? I would have been shocked if that discussion had never come up verbally. But I think it's more about like the act of doing it that people are. I don't know. Ryan, thank you for the 10 jewels. Appreciate everyone. Send us all the jewels you can. Apparently, we do get money for these. So, yeah, Sounder74, thank you for the jewels. Zippy, thank you for the jewels. DJ, thank you for the $2 to the Striker Fund. Hunch, thank you for the jewels. J Score says, I think the Stu Hawk is our best offensive threat bit. Might not be a bit. It's not a bit. It's not a bit. Like at this point, he's created or scored two of the only goals this team has scored in the last like month and a half. Yeah, both against Austin FC, so maybe it doesn't count. But honestly, the way things are going right now, I think everything counts. Isul, thank you for the 2. He says we should talk about the Sounder train instead. I'm down, honestly. You guys want to be a train pod? Train pod. Nat, thank you for the jewels. Sounder74, Nat, thank you guys for all the jewels. Wish I knew exactly what those meant. But one day we'll find out. All right, let's get Tribe in here. Tribe, welcome to the stage, brother. How you doing? Another L, 8 in a row. I mean, what do you got?
Yeah, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, I fucking care again. Out of nowhere. I just care, and I'm pissed off again. Last game, I didn't care. The way that we lost was fucking pathetic. At home against Austin. When was the last time Austin beat us at home or came close to even scoring 2 goals against us at home?
The quality of Austin FC right now, like that exact team would never have been able to come in here and do that like in the past like 10 years. Like that just wouldn't have happened.
I know. I am just, the thing is, right? You get so angry that you can't really collect your thoughts, right? That's where I'm at now. I didn't care last game, but here's the thing, right? Sporting Kansas City overpays like $7 million for a player, and we can't afford a free agent. Why?
Oh,
why
dude,
can't
Sporting
we?
KC are dropping cash right now. They just had a new oligarch come in, and he's like Merritt Paulson tweeting at fans and talking about how much guap he's dropping, and they just broke their club transfer record. And I wrote a whole thing about them today about how much money they're spending. And I was just going through the quotes like, wow.
Is there any issue with us getting a top tier free agent? A free agent, at least. Anyone. Just anybody. At this point, anybody. How are the Tacoma Defiance still able to play? We're taking all of their players. We're practically the Sounders MLS Next team at this point. This is I don't know, man. Do you see any way out of this season whatsoever? Anything at all? Anything?
If I were to make the case, it would be like I have been very reluctant, and I think I've been pretty good about not giving them the injury excuse. Precisely because I think that there might be, maybe not anymore, but there was at one point maybe like a little vibe in the building over at Long Acres of like, I mean, we're just so injured. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do? And I don't think that is the correct way to look at it. I think it goes way deeper than that. But that being said, the injury situation is so out of control to the point where even if you were playing better, you would be like a 1.2 points per game team probably, instead of not being able to win a game. So if I were to make the case, it would be that theoretically with a cleaner bill of health, if you get Christian Roldan back in particular, I know no one's going to think that Jordan Morris has anything to do with the rest of this season, but in a world where he does, maybe that helps the offense a little bit. You shore up the midfield, you put the primary Roldan back in there, you get a striker who has at least got a more proven track record.
Neil Kennedy.
You could, I don't know. I'm grasping at straws, Tribe. But if I were to make the case for the situation improving, it would be around like getting healthier. Because honestly, like as much as we all don't want to like give them that, and trust me, I don't want to give them that either. The injury situation is honestly chalked right now. Like
No. Now here's the next question: will it be too late by the time we have most of the guys come back and
That's the
results
problem.
start?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We were in a worse position. Well, were we at this point in a worse position in 2016? I don't know. But we also made.
Yes. The 2016 team was 6-12-2. This team is 7-8-3. 7-9-3.
But we did make a huge summer
7-9-3.
signing that ended up to be the greatest player in our history, which
Exactly.
literally.
Okay, like there's no Ladero coming, and maybe in prior weeks you could have diluted yourself like I did into De La Vega having maybe like not a Ladero effect, but like a force multiplying effect on the attack. Obviously, that's out the window. But if you're trying to cope and rationalize of injured guys coming back being like new signings, you could say that about any of the injured guys coming back, couldn't you? If you're doing extreme mental gymnastics like I'm doing.
No, that's true. I gotta go. I literally have to get up at 4 a.m. For I don't even remember a gym, some shit. I'm trying to get the health going. You know,
Going
4
to the
a.m.
gym
club.
at 4 a.m. Tribe.
Yeah, I'm locking. I'm trying the 4 a.m. club to see if it actually works.
Losing streak is really getting to you.
It is. I need to try it. You know, everyone says it helps with discipline. It helps you stronger mentally to get up that early. Feel the cold Seattle air on your face once you get walking down there to the LA Fitness. We'll see. We'll see if it works. Probably gonna be a one-time thing. But for now, I gotta go to bed. But unbelievable stream. It's unbelievable that you guys are still doing this in the middle of all this bullshit. I would have just lost it. I would have
We
just
do it
said
no matter
fuck
what,
it.
man. I don't care if they're losing.
Yeah, unbelievable. You guys are
I
amazing.
mean, like, I don't want that. I'm just saying the show is not based on the results. We do it no matter
No,
what.
it's not. But you know, it might fuck you up mentally. Then you're like, oh, I don't want you. You know, that's my mindset. That's why you guys.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like kind of out of shit to say. But like we still fire it up.
I know.
Anyway, Tribe, Godspeed with the 4 a.m. gym sesh, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great stream, man. Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care. All right, we got Sawyer, we got Mauricio, then we got James. Oh, we got a packed queue. So let's start tuning through this. Sawyer, what's up, my guy? Good to see you.
You too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row.
Running out of fingers, man.
Yeah, I mean, we might be at all 10 soon. 2-1 against Austin FC. Stu Hawk's goal, but another L. What'd you see? What'd you think?
I only watched like the second half of the first half and then the second half because I was really tired. And I don't know, it just didn't look good at all. I remember last game against Vancouver, I was just like, we're playing so shit. And it's the same thing every game.
Yeah. Well, so if you watched, I mean, don't go back and watch it, but
I'm not.
The entire first half was really, really bad. It was basically a carbon copy of the Vancouver first half. And then I did, you know, when I say that the second half was like a little better, I don't think that's like fully cope on the merits of it. Like it was a more functional soccer team kind of, but I mean, it's like, if that's where the bar is at, that's sort of the issue, you know? It's like
It's like they can defend for 70 minutes and then when they get scored on, then they like are chasing the game. Like they don't chase the game the whole time.
Yeah, it kind of did. Tonight they needed to get bammed on to like wake up a little bit, maybe, and then felt like the Stu Hawks goal injected a little bit of energy, but
yeah, because they were down 2-0 with 5 minutes left.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. So
like, yeah, but I mean, I don't even remember who we won against the last time we won. It was all the way in May.
Oh yeah, league play. I couldn't even tell you. The league's cup win.
I don't count that as a win because that's already a horrible team.
That team was honestly like I'm like not a big it doesn't count guy, but yeah, that one didn't really count.
No.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I don't really know. There's just nothing to say. Like I saw Tribe's post this morning. He came out of retirement. He was like taking a break, and then he comes back to this.
Tribe can't quit. He can't quit.
Nah, he was just taking a little break, I think. But then
that was all posturing. Now he's going to the gym at 4 a.m.
Crazy. I couldn't do that.
Sawyer, I'm going to keep working through the queue here, but you got one last take or anything that you're looking for these games?
Bro, the sign Sawyer agenda needs to be talked about.
Cincy away. Oh, what did you say? Sorry.
I said the sign Sawyer agenda needs to be talked about.
Sign Sawyer agenda. Yeah, you got to. I mean, you got to play the 9 and the 6 and center back though. Can you do that?
I know. And if I'm on the left wing, I go all the way to
Actually,
the
no
right
center
wing.
back anymore. Belkow Suhawks, but you got to play. You got to bust
Well,
out the versatility.
Yeah, because Jackson's out too.
Yeah.
Was there any talk about that?
So Schmetzer got asked about it and got like kind of tilted. He said he's fine.
Okay.
But that seemed sketchy. I forgot to talk about that whole situation because it looked like he did his hamstring and then I guess he didn't. But
I know, it was weird.
Anyway, good stuff, man. Appreciate you. We'll
see you.
Catch you on the next one. All right, James up next. Then we got Kenny. Then we got Jesus. Then we got Gianni. We got a lot of people. Why do you guys are still locked in? Appreciate. That's what I like about you, man. That's what I like. I was talking to the tribe about how we do the show no matter what the results, but that wouldn't matter if you guys didn't tune in anyway. So appreciate you guys like still grinding with us in these tough times. That's what I love about this fan base. But all right, James, welcome to the stage, man. Another great game for Albert Rusnák tonight that I'm sure you're excited to talk about. So, but no, 8 in a row. What's James? What did you think of the exchange, the Schmetzer exchange, where they asked him about the front office? What did you think of his answer to that?
I feel like he either doesn't quite understand what people are saying, he doesn't quite understand the criticism, or he's deflecting criticism away from his boss. Because I don't know. Look, there's always some idiots on the internet who are saying stupid things, but I don't think that the majority of us are looking at this. Oh, come on, Ari. The majority of people are not out there saying Brian Schmetzer is not talking to Craig Weibel and Adrian Hanauer. That is not the objection.
That's what I would say. It's like the verbal discussion of it was, to my impression, that's not what the issue has been.
No, the issue is that we're just not signing anybody.
It's not happening.
And I've talked about this before on the show. About Garth Lagerway, who I now believe intentionally started a firestorm when he said the Sounders aren't trying to compete with Atlanta and Toronto and LA to try to encourage them to spend money. Garth Lagerway had a lot of credit. Nobody has more credit than Brian Schmetzer. So why can't he go out there and say, look, Adrian Hanauer doesn't want to spend money, or really get deep down into the details. We can't spend money because he spent all his money on Long Acres and the rain. He's got to kind of, I don't know. I just don't get it. I understand he's very loyal to Seattle, but I don't understand why he's so loyal to an owner who's doing so much damage to the team that Schmetzer has quite literally devoted his entire adult life to. And so to sort of deflect the comments like, oh, of course we're talking. It's like that wasn't really the question, Brian. No. I just wish that he would use that clout that he has in order to make some changes here, or at least force them to answer some questions. Come out there and say, look, truth be told, I don't know why anything hasn't happened yet. I would encourage Craig to come out and talk. Something like that. I don't know, but he's got
where he was going through. He's like, well, we beat the Inter Miami, and then in 24, we almost went to MLS Cup, but then Ricky Puig with a torn ACL bammed on us. Otherwise, we could have had that felt like kind of straw grasping, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. But if we can talk about the game, I thought that the first half was terrible. Both teams, really.
Yeah.
Looked a lot better when Brunel got on there in the second half. Had that little bit there. The three highlights that I noted was one, the Hawkins goal. I think the best evidence for the fact that second Austin goal involved an offside in the buildup is the fact that Hawkins got away with a big old handful of jersey and pulling his mark down on the header. And so I think that was probably a bit of a makeup call for the missed offside, which I don't really know how you missed that. But second highlight and shout out to Kenny for pointing this out to me. Brad Evans on the radio broadcast referenced my tweet about Rusnák being the laziest player in MLS, which was awesome. And I also enjoyed at the very end there, Paul Rothrock just refusing to pass the ball to Rusnák, which I think kind of says a lot I mean, I obviously I've got my opinion on Rusnák. Other people do as well. But in a million years, would we be chasing a goal at the end and somebody has the ball and they're just not going to pass to Nico Ladero?
No.
That will never. That would never happen. And look, I don't know if he's losing the locker room or if people are losing faith. I think that his comments in the pressers have been very hypocritical. He comes out and says, "Oh, we need to do more. We need to win ugly. We're not creating enough chances." Brother, that's literally your job, and preferably not from your one good set piece out of 50 when we're already down 2. So that I just found that interesting that Rothrock looked at him. He's just like, nope, I'm going to do something else. And I'll throw a little more criticism for Schmetzer because I don't quite understand why Kim Ki-hee's starting games.
I didn't talk about that, but yeah, like why not start Stu Hawks from the beginning? That's really that. I don't know how much Schmetz is supposed to do about all of this right now. I'm still kind of that mind. But like there have been, like we talked a lot about like how he's still played the Kingston Brunel midfield at times when that really, like in the Vancouver game when he could have just kept putting the Roldan on it. But this is very clearly to me just like, dude, you put Stu Hawks out there.
Yeah, or Lopez. I thought Sailor looked good in that Chivas game. Ups and downs, but look, Kim Ki-hee's 37 years old. He's not going to be around next year. He's certainly not anything you can build around. And I think we're very much in the point where it's, we just have to acknowledge that it is unlikely we're going to go on a run this season. And really the most important thing is to plan for the future with what have you got in Stu? What have you got in Lopez? What do you got even in Sailor? And then the other thing was at the very end when we're chasing that equalizer, and I couldn't see this because it was off camera. Maybe somebody who was at the game can confirm, but the commentator was saying that Thomas was begging to run up into the box and Schmetzer wouldn't let him. What does it matter? You really think we're going to miss the playoffs on goal difference? I don't think MLS even that's like the MLS is based on wins. So goal difference isn't even as important as it is in other leagues. I just didn't get that. It's like we haven't quite grasped the gravitas of this situation. You need to be throwing your goalkeeper in there because it just doesn't matter. And the last point I'll make, and I'll let you get through the queue. Speaking of not grasping the gravitas of the situation, Nico Moreno reported that the Sounders made a play for St. Louis player Mackay Joyner, a young man who has 506 MLS minutes. So again, Craig Weibel really not grasping what we're dealing with here. If that's the kind of target you're going for, I think this is clearly if Rusnák, free kick aside, again, one good free kick out of 24. Poor game. Cut him the $1 million check, open that DP spot because that's the only way we're going to save this is change, particularly in that area because it was so much more fun to watch the guys run hard against Chivas, watch Snyder Brunel working his ass off in that second half. If we can get the guy who slows everything down out of there and get a real DP in, at least it'll be fun to watch. Maybe it doesn't save the season. But
James, good stuff as always, man. Thank you for tapping in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you for having me. Have a great night.
Take care. All right, we got Kenny, we got Jesus, and then we got Gianni. We're going to keep working through this here. Kenny, you are on the stage. A 2-1 loss to Austin FC. That is 8 in a row, 9 out of 10. It's a lot of L's, man. It's just L after L after L after L. What did you think of this one?
Seattle Defiance. No, but I mean, so half of our outfield starters are injured, and like there's plenty of blame for that to go around. I mean, on the players' bodies, on the medical staff, on the guy who signed them. But then you can't fault these kids who go out there and do their fucking best, and that's their fucking best, and they leave no doubt that they tried their fucking best, right? Like Kalani's out there working his ass off. King Pete's out working his ass off. And James is right, Stu was always supposed to be a contributor this year. So now that there's an injury crisis, he should have always been getting these minutes to ramp up. We know what we have in Kim, and what we have in Kim is a smart player who looks like he's barely played in 3 years. And that's what he's looked like every time he's come out to play. Pretty much. I mean, a smart guy. Who cares, right? But nope. Goals. The second goal we conceded, Paul doing a 360 to turn out of pressure from 2 guys inside of our own box. Didn't love that. Did not love that one, Paul. And the goal Stu scored. I mean, look, you have to reward his contributions, right? You have to reward that because he's, playing good passes, setting up some goals, starting some attacks, and he's, pulling in jerseys.
He's been the best attacker on the team for like 3 weeks now. Like, that's not a joke.
It's not debatable.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information, but like that's what's happening.
Yep. And I think we were right in the last game after the last game when we were both talking about getting Alex into the defensive mid. I mean, he's still maybe a step late on some of those challenges and checks. Especially because, like, we were obviously not doing a double pivot tonight.
No.
There was a 6 destroyer. Like, I liked that a lot better in the second half. And I thought Alex grew into the game a little bit and ended up playing pretty good. In a sea of, mid to shit, between mid and shit. Alex was all right. Nouhou was a bright spot for me as always. I love the lung-busting run he made up the flank and then started a decent attack, but then he's literally walking back and Stu's under immense pressure. And, like, Nouhou runs at the last minute and then flops for a foul. It's like, what a player, man. I was a little nervous when he scissored that guy in the box. I thought I was going to have to I thought that was it for me.
Also, Moose, I thought got kind of.
Let's talk about Moose. No. Let me spend my time on Moose.
Yeah, go for
Holy
it.
crap, man. He's got a butcher's touch, the touch of a donkey. What in the world? This is the worst hold-up play I've ever seen from a Seattle Sounders striker. I don't necessarily want to see him playing so many minutes anymore. Oh, Lord. Especially the first half was just horrendous. I mean, he picked it up when the team started generating some more looks for him, and he got a couple half chances and a couple decent shots off, which is what he does. He does that well, but Lordy Lord, when we're, on the back foot and looking for someone to relieve pressure, he is not that guy. I mean, holy crap, like we're benching someone like Snyder or Seba Gomez to play Jesus on the wing so we can play Moose up top. I mean, Jesus, come on, man. You can play the fucking 9 for a couple weeks while Jordan gets healthy.
Well, not anymore. But
not anymore. Jesus can't do it either. If Reagan's out, then that's 6 outfield starters out. Plugging holes in the dam, right? One leak springs and another one's plugged. Not much to take away from this game. I love the fight from the kids. There's always something to build on there. But to me, a lot of it is proof that we need to move guys like Leyva and Atencio on because we're going to have Seba Gomez's and Snyder Brunel's, and we don't want them buried beneath Atencio. All respect to him, he would be helping right now, but that's because our starters are out,
Yeah.
He could probably be a starter on this team. Yeah, he'd be a starter
I think both Josh Atencio and Danny Leyva would be playing a lot on this team right now. I don't know if that would make all that big a difference. I'll say that.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Like how much does that move the needle? Probably not as much as people would think or would say, but
yeah, and I think you guys are right that Brian has to say something. I mean, I'm sure he's so thankful for Adrian for what he does provide, but it's like, man, the the club is hanging your players out to dry at this point by not reinforcing them. And we're just sending the wave after wave of kids to die like the Soviet Union.
You
we're
gotta
just sending
be
them
you gotta be wary of like stunting young players' development by like putting them in situations where they're getting run on like this, that is, but at the same time, like the injuries are such that it's not like they're a lot of the guys playing right now are playing out of necessity. Not all of them, but like it's just tough.
Yeah, I just want to say I thought the midfield looked a lot better with a pure destroyer. It just felt a lot more in control, especially as the game went on.
In the second half.
And
half.
especially in the second half when Snyder was there as an outlet to half turn and drive up
The
field.
first half, the first half, I thought Austin was like pretty clearly the better team.
Oh, I thought both teams were horrendous in the
Well,
first
yeah,
half.
it's with the knowledge that both teams were horrendous. Austin was slightly less.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they had the ball. They were getting better looks. They were just pinging it off the post. Oh, man. Yeah, nobody brought that up. We could have been 2-0 down in the first half easily. They easily could have had 2 goals if they were not so shit. I mean, credit to them, well-earned 3 points. They stuck to it till the end and kind of a hell of a finish at the end there. Oh, for the second goal, kind of a decent fucking finish from Guillermo Biro, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah,
We're making up players now.
That was a crazy goal. But Kenny, I got to keep working through the queue. But
Let's do
you
it.
want to give us one more take, or are you good?
Nope, I'm fucking done.
Oh yeah, I love how Kenny pieces out on his own. That's such a sick move. All right, we got Jesus, we got Gianni, and we got a few more after that. I'll drop the queue link in one more time. See if there is anyone else who wants to hop in here. Once I do this, okay, let's get Jesus in here. Jesus, welcome to the stage. He's got it. Looks like his championship rings on. What are these?
We got the Seahawks Super Bowl, and of course we got this one because this one, I feel like this one was crying after seeing that shit show performance. But this one, I need to put it back or else it's gonna get cursed.
Hey, I mean, at least you got a ring.
Yeah. Oh, but I have to agree. Whoever said that Rusnák is the most laziest player, I have to agree. Who said that? I forgot his name.
That's a classic James agenda. That's a classic brigade agenda, and James is president of the brigade. So
yeah, I have to agree with them on that. And also, I don't know if you can read my handwriting. This sign, I'm gonna say it out. Brian is not the problem. It is the front office. That's all I have to say. But I have one more take. Is that if the team looks sharp, but the first half was the most horrendous first half to the point I almost fell asleep, and I had to go grab myself a Red Bull and chug it.
Yeah, it was bad.
The most horrendous first half I've ever seen in my life. I feel like ever since
the Whitecaps game, which was the last game.
Yeah, that game, I was furious. But today I actually felt like I cared. I woke up with very good spirits, just for them to ruin my spirits yet again.
Yeah, well.
And everything else is that, like what Brian said, is that the fans are angry, but the fans are frustrated. But I mean, what else can you do when basically you paid for so much money for the Seattle Rain and for Longacres, to the point you can't even spend nothing. And as of right now, I am on Sounders Reddit. They're putting fire Craig Weibel out in very full caps as we're speaking to this. And also by chance, Portland beat San Diego, which we tied at home. And that San Diego team is horrible.
Portland's designated players were banging in goals all over the place. They're flying high. It's
yeah, look at ours. We can't even bang in.
Their DBs are scoring goals. Sporting Kansas City is dropping multi-million-dollar transfer fees to try and get better.
Yeah, they're overpaying everybody in this league. Look at us. We can't even. I bet. Can we even afford a Seattle dog at this point? I don't think so.
We need some oligarch to save us, Jesus. Like, I don't know who it's got to
Yeah.
be, but I don't know. That's all I
Pretty
got. You
frustrating.
got any
Oh my God.
last takes to get out there, and then we'll get Gianni in here.
Well, the only thing I have to say is just like, well, I know the fans are frustrated. Me as a fan, I'm going to a game next week against the Fire. And yeah, I hope they pretty much don't disappoint me because I spent almost $200 on these tickets, 4 tickets, and being tagged.
Oh man, the
And it was
Fire.
a date, and it's a date night.
Hella good right now too. They just bought Bob Lewandowski, so
Yeah,
schedule's tough coming up.
Yeah, really tough schedule. But hey, man, thank you for having me. Have a good stream. And yeah, as always, I'll be back here on Saturday.
Appreciate you, man. Take care.
See, take care.
All right, let's get Gianni in here. Before we do that, though, I don't know how many likes are on the video, but that's not enough. Everyone liked the video. Sub to the channel. This road to 4K has really been slowing down. I know there's a bunch of you out there that are watching that watch but don't sub. So if you're one of those people, just toss sub. Takes 2 seconds, and you'll get us on the road to 4K, which is an important milestone for us. And also, another plug. Sorry, Gianni, I'm plugging stuff. Another plug. LobbingScorchers.com, new independent media entity platform. We've been on our writing game. We've been blog boying, and it's been. I've been actually getting back into writing's been a lot of fun. It's kind of cathartic for me right now. So what you can do to support that, if you want to become a paid subscriber, that's the best way to support that venture. But if you don't want to do that, just free subscription. The higher we get our number of free subs, the more chance that we're going to have later on down the road to make a little bit of money off of this new venture. So toss us some support on there as well. But all right, enough plugging. Gianni, you're on the stage. It's another L. That's 8 in a row. It's 9 out of 10 or 10 out of who even cares. 2-1 against Austin FC. Stu Hawk's goal, but that was it. What do you think?
Yo, we're going for that record, man.
Let's go for the record.
That's what we're doing. Like
History.
we've already got everything else, so this is our new goal. We're gonna have all of the records, and everyone else can come for us.
If they hit that record, they gotta hang a banner for that. They got it.
Absolutely. Like we're in banner territory again. Like it was actually planned. Like the whole idea was we're gonna sign a bunch of players with an injury history, and then we're gonna ship a bunch of other players out who could fill those positions, and we're gonna call up a bunch of Defiance guys so that if a Black Swan event hits, we can't do shit about it. We're just gonna play Tacoma Defiance, and we're going to be good.
Yeah.
That take brought to you by Woodinville Whiskey. No, but I mean, like, let's be real about this. Our transfer policy has been absolute shambles. We shipped out a bunch of players right now who could be filling a bunch of these holes. Instead, we brought up a bunch of guys who literally their entire repertoire, as far as the Sounders are concerned, was Defiance games, and we're plugging them into these holes that should be filled by MLS vets. And I am absolutely a fan of playing the kids. Within reason, though. Like, the Garth Lager way of moving people through your academy and into the first team was you take 1 or 2 guys, you blood them in next to 9 or 10 outfield vets, and you give them the experience of playing next to someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
What does our team look like now? Because it looks like half Tacoma Defiance, half MLS vets who failed out of other places, a DP who cannot control the team, and then a coach whose tactics are inflexible to the players he has.
Yeah, no, I think that's about the full checklist right there.
I mean, I don't really know where else to go with that. Like, let's peel this back a layer. Schmetzer is absolutely dedicated to his lineups. He is going to keep starting the same pivot. Yes, in the second half he changed it. But in the first half, given his options, he was going to continue to try and play the way he wants to play.
I thought he was mixing it up a little more tonight than he has been. Like there was some stuff going on that was different, but it was also like
different bad.
Yeah, like I was confused by like Paul Rothrock was like tenning kind of at a couple of different points, and then Pete was
he literally just took Jesus Ferrera's position and tried to flip it to Paul Rothrock, who is the next most senior player that was out on the field.
Yeah, there was that. There was the whole Pete thing where like didn't it feel like Pete was kind of out wide from the jump? Like even with him being listed as a CDM, and then in the second half he moved right back.
Yeah, this game is maybe not the best example of that, mostly because I think Schmetzer's hand has been forced more than it has in the past, just because he has been so hampered by injuries. And yes, injuries are a huge portion of this, but you can't tell me if Jesus Ferreira wasn't out there, we would have played exactly the same way we would have played last week.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it is kind of like it's just unfathomable that you can go through the series of events, keep trying to plug and play these players rather than adjusting your tactics and your formations to try and fit the players that you have. Because yes, when we had our full complement of players, you could play with the inverted winger. You could play with, or not inverted winger, as the inverted dual 10, Jesus Ferreira tucking in, because you've got Alex. Alex can do the overlapping run. We run into this problem where we rely so much on that right-hand side for the right back to provide the width, because the right winger is going to tuck in as far as he does, that when you start running out of your pieces and Alex is then being forced into a CDM role. Okay, you're taking KKR, who is not the most defensively sound player, who should be playing as arguably as your right winger.
Yeah.
You're shoving him to your right back. Okay, so now your defense has gotten worse. Your CDM is really just like we're paper macheing over our depth deficiencies by saying, oh, we can move this player here and we can move this player here and we're going to move this player here. And overall, all you've done, instead of actually having depth, you've decreased the overall efficiency of your across the board, like your team across the board. And so we can say that like this team is as deep as anyone else in the league, but that's because all we're doing is moving players around the board and we're plugging them into places where they can't play as well. But then we're plugging in worse players to fill for them as well.
Are you excited to watch it go down in Cincinnati this weekend?
Oh man, if this is how we play against the second worst team in the West, I cannot wait to see how this goes. Because I mean, I'm looking, like I was joking around in the Discord earlier. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to play a 4-5-1 and you might as well just dump those 5 in between the 4. Like, what the fuck?
I hope they don't do that, because that's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work, but it's our best option for coming out of there with.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. It's just it's going to be unfortunate to watch.
No.
But
yeah, it's just like, and watching that first half of the game, we would get down to their end. We would turn the ball over because apparently we can't make a simple pass. And then in 3 passes, they were at our 18. There was zero pressure at all. Like, there was no idea of what we were supposed to do with our shape, with shadow defending, with blocking passing lanes. We had no idea how to defend in transition.
It felt like a battle of bad news bears counterattacking in the first half. Like there would be one team on the counter and it would just be like the worst counter of all time. The other team would win the ball and there'd be a bunch of space and you're like, all right, they're off on the counter now. Let's go. And then that they put on the worst counter of all time, give away the ball, it was like that happened like a lot.
Yeah, but you know what the worst part of that was? We looked like we were doing it worse than them.
Right. Yeah.
Because they were generating chances. They had actual looks on goal. We could have been down 2-0 at least at half.
Yeah.
And we probably deserved to be, because they if what was that pass from the left wing into the center of the box, just overshot their player because they got excited and overcooked the pass. Like that is an easy pass that a normal soccer player will make. And I don't know if like the person out there playing that pass was a rotated player or not. But I would say 9 times out of 10, that thing ends up you're picking out of the back of your net.
Yeah, like against FC Cincinnati, you think Evander and Kevin Denke are like missing these chances?
Jesus
like no.
Christ. No, they're banging 5.
Yeah.
Like I am not excited for that game. And like I really don't know what to say. Okay. Also, can we like have a come to Jesus moment here? What the fuck are we doing putting Jackson Reagan back out on the field after he goes down non-contact? And I get that he said he wants to play. Every player is going to say he wants to play.
Yeah.
That's the adrenaline. And then he goes down 15 minutes into the second half off the ball saying, oh, yeah, I can't play anymore. No fucking shit. All you've done is probably injured yourself a little bit more than you were before. That is on the coaching staff and the training staff. You have to pull him off the field. We had Stu Hawks. Stu Hawks clearly has looked great. Holy shit. He looks like probably the best, I don't know, 9, 10, fucking 8. I don't know, maybe probably the 6. I don't know. Put him in goalkeeper. Maybe he's also the best goalkeeper we have on the team. But this dude is out there shaping balls that Albert Rusnák isn't doing. He is making
that pass he played in the Whitecaps game to, I think it was to Osaze.
Yeah. The Travella fucking the
Travella
pass. Bro,
when was the last Sounders attacker that did that?
No. We haven't had that at all. And I'm including Jesus Ferreira in this conversation as well.
Sure.
Stu Hawks passes a better ball. If he wasn't so tall, I'd say he needs to be in the set pieces. Actually, I'm going to say it anyways. Even if he is that tall, he plays a better ball in off a set piece than Albert Rusnák does because, I mean, we've seen it.
Yeah. Gianni, give us one more take to bring it home, and then we got Denny up next.
Adrian out, Weibel out, and honestly, if we keep trying to do the same shit we've been doing, it's gonna have to be a Schmetzer out too. Like I'm losing a little bit of faith there too.
Gianni's trying to clean house. Good stuff as always, man. Appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right. Take it easy, man.
Take care. All right. We got Denny, we got Nat, we got Hunch, we got Blake. We got a lot of you guys. You guys are just dying to talk about an 8th straight L. I love it. All right. Let's get Denny in here. Denny, what's up, my guy? Thanks for tapping in. It's another
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's another L for the Seattle Sounders. 8 in a row, going for the big double digits. What'd you see? What'd you think?
Yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying thanks for letting me come on. I wanted to come on originally after the Toluca game, and that was right when you guys announced that you were going independent. So I just wanted to say congrats on that. I used to sit where you sit. Back in 2007, I used to cover the Sounders. I don't know if you remember the offside. So I did the whole kind of
2007.
indie...
That was before.
Yeah.
I was. What was I doing in 2007? I was a.
Sorry, 2011. 2011.
2011.
Kind of
I
right
was also a sophomore in 2011, but college instead of high school.
Yeah, same here. So in college, that's when I picked up kind of right before they joined MLS. I was covering on the offside like soccer network. It was like kind of early days. There was no independent Sounders media at that point. So I just want to wish you guys luck. I kind of know that you're doing a lot. It's not that easy, but
appreciate that,
what
man.
you do is also just, it seems like the worse the team performs, there's like the kind of like the other guy said, the more interest and the more important it is to have these kind of community spaces. So
yeah,
you guys are doing good work.
Appreciate that. No, it is interesting. Like we haven't had a stretch like this where the team's this is the worst team in the league right now. So I thought maybe like there was a danger of interest falling off, but that hasn't happened at all. So that's a credit to you all. I don't know how long that's gonna, like, if they never win a game again, that probably won't last forever, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I've got all kinds of thoughts that I also wanted to share, but just wanted to start off with that. My only things that I wanted to share about Schmetzer and kind of the team falling apart right now is this current malaise feels very similar to 2016 and kind of past bad spells we've had. Brian in that press conference looked like a broken man. Like in the beginning, when he was being asked about like the disappointment of defeat, you can just see on his face how much he hates losing and how much the team hates losing.
This team is like his whole life. It's everything to him, man.
Yeah.
Like he fucking hates this. I know like all the definitely. I know all the guys on the team hate this, but like a guy like Paul Rothrock, this is killing him, man. He despises this with every fiber of his being.
I think you saw it on the field with the play too. There was a lot of hero ball, with like Nouhou and Rothrock not passing it off. But it feels like it's fraying. It's not fully broken yet. But it's weird, I think, as fans trying to watch, like we follow the team. We don't really have any way to be proactive about predicting or guessing what's happening. It's just we watch the thing and we react. But just trying to predict like kind of what happens. It's my hot take that Schmetzer's on the hot seat right now. And it's not necessarily because of performance, but because this current malaise is very similar to past bad spells. And I think the league is just at a point where the roster rules are changing. We have an owner who doesn't really know how he's going to spend money or invest money. They've kind of been public in choice with like how they talk about how they want to invest. But I was looking at the Timbers, like Cifuentes, the new manager came in. There was an interim coach that kind of helped laid the groundwork for their system. Davey Arnaud was also an interim coach. And you just compare it with like Schmetzer's system. In Schmetzer's system today, it was like the perfect example of it falling apart, where he excels at man management, getting kind of the best out of players in the moment. But when you give him subpar players, he doesn't have a possession-based system anymore.
It's a good point because there's like I always say there's like a select few managers in the world at any given time that like really give you a tactical advantage week in, week out. And having a manager like that is such a scale tilter because they can be under it with personnel and figure out ways to do that, like to get results anyway. And I think to be fair, like Schmetz is not, I don't think he's as much of a tactical novice like that as it gets made out to be. Like there have been times where I think he is cooked tactically, but like right now, like it's not even just on the head coach. It's not, I think like, it's not like there's anything that's being done like coaching wise or tactically that is like making anything be more than the sum of its parts, So there's that aspect of it too. And then, there's some truism. I think it was like an NFL coach that said it, but there's some like truism with coaching that like 10 years is about like the max before a message can get stale. So like, I'm not saying that I think that's what's happening necessarily. I've been pretty consistent that I feel like the coach he's definitely not like the primary issue, but like that is stuff that like I think it has to be thought about at this point, like with the results.
I mean, we've seen his reluctance in so many press conferences, just refusing to throw the players under the bus. And I think if obviously KKR, Stu, they're like huge potential. They look raw in the way that Christian Roldan and Jordan Morris look raw in their rookie years. They're going to turn out and they're going to develop.
But right now they're not ready. And I think for him to just be unable to say that publicly is almost like he's refusing to throw his boss under the bus, but also just the whole system. And like the whole Weibel, like Lagerwey pitch was that we would have a mentality from academy up to first team every step of the way. And just for him to say like KKR is not ready, like he's trying his best, but the quality is not there. He can't say that, admit that. Just shows that like I think he knows this system doesn't work in today's MLS. Like the MLS 2.0, where we could sign kind of quality players and then coach them up or get them in the moment, kind of manage them up. That works. But you look at like Cifuentes, he has a YouTube masterclass on tactics. Like he's gonna have a philosophy where maybe you don't have quality across the field, but like the sum of the parts is bigger. With Schmetzer, like right now, the sum of the parts is clearly worse than all the individual pieces combined. So I'm just wondering.
Cifuentes was a sick hire, wasn't he?
Unfortunately, I think he's the exact opposite of what Neville was. And that Neville was very much the Schmetzer, like old school kind of nose to the ground, like that kind of English manager, you know. Cifuentes is like I would say he's MLS.
He's like the Wilfred Nancy type.
He's kind of anti-possession, much more direct. Same with Pat Noonan, who we're going to be seeing
that's a
again.
perfect fit for the counter-attacking demons. Oh my God, this is bad.
So it's just is Schmetzer, if he's on the hot seat, not because of performance, but because maybe the league has moved past him, and also the investment decisions of the owners is kind of basically ruling him no longer relevant, no longer effective. So essentially, if we don't, sign another Nico or another DP, what's his system? It's gonna be another few years of this. That's just me kind of trying to think down the road beyond just like injuries, medical staff, and Longacres and all that. But it's tough. I don't feel broken yet as a fan. I feel like once we're 4 more games out, this won't be fun. Just because I think everyone's just kind of waiting to see what is the straw that's actually going to break.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like I think the interest is still so high because it's like a morbid fascination, but it's also like, downfall watch. A lot of our increased viewership lately has been from like other fan bases. Like I've noticed that people are like just tuning in to like see, they're like, wow, what's going on with Seattle?
I mean, it's smart front offices are going to be paying attention. I think they're going to be dissecting this because Seattle was the model for so long. To fall apart in this way, so kind of predictably or so, it's like watching a train wreck in slow motion every single week. And so that's your counterfactual when you're deciding, am I going to go the Pat Noonan or the Cifuentes, the system, like have a philosophy versus just trying to do MLS 2.0, especially with the roster rules changing. So that's my morbid fascination. And then I'll let you, I guess some of the other observations, the rat running through ECS.
I forgot to bring that up.
Photos of that.
Yeah,
that's like one of those Greek omens that if you saw that, that's a sign.
That's on our the EDF girls got a video. I don't know if our video on our Instagram has a visual of the rat, but you could see people reacting to the rat. There was a rat. There's a rat.
I saw the photo. It was kind of cute. He was brown and
I mean, it's a rat. He probably, the rat was probably like, I don't know. I didn't mean to. I don't want to watch this either. I'm a rat.
Yeah. But then, I think 4 games out from now, they could get to the point where fans are much more, or maybe you'll see from the club starting to direct fan. So at least for me, I'm curious if Schmetzer does pit fans like kind of on his side as his seat gets warmer. That's going to be obvious. And today was like his first time, I think he publicly acknowledged in a press conference the friction, the kind of a friction we all assumed was there. So.
Yeah. Well, Denny, great stuff, man. Thanks for tapping in. Any last takes you want to get out there before we'll get it? We got Nat up next.
No, just keep doing what you guys are doing. I'll be hopefully chiming in. I've already subscribed and wish you guys all the best.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one. All right. We got Nat, we got Hunch, we got Blake, we got Sean, we got Caleb. And then I think that'll be about it for the night. We had a jam-packed queue, but I will drop the link in one more. This is the last time I'm dropping the link. If anyone else wants to tap in, there it is. But we're getting just about down to it. but we do have a lot to work through here. Please like the video, sub to the channel. All right, we got Nat on the stage right now. He's got his Christian rolled on bobblehead.
I don't.
It doesn't really look like him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is supposed to be him, but like this is the only thing we're getting. It doesn't look like him at all.
It looks like.
I mean, it's not good at all. I mean, like it's better than the Morris stuffed animals that you can buy. Those are just.
Did they give those away at the game tonight? What?
No, Morris stuffed animals. Those have been available in like the team.
No,
stores for,
the
like,
Christian
a month.
bobblehead.
Oh yeah, this was like a season ticket thing that you had to purchase beforehand, and you had to pick this up at the southeast ramp because they always do giveaway. I mean, they do giveaways super weird. They were giving out the hats, and the hats were not just like in the door last game. That you had to like get in a separate line. Anyway, like we can't even get like promotions right. Like this is terrible. Like what is this? Yeah, that game just, I mean, like these past two games have completely sucked. Like, I mean, like there have been goals at the end, but they've been the same as like a 0-0 game. But I mean, just like off what the last guy was saying about Schmetzer not wanting to throw people under the bus, like he won't throw people under the bus except for Bronick.
I don't think he meant it like that. I came to the conclusion that it came off like that, but I actually think his point was good. I do. I think his point was like, don't talk to me about a Tacoma Defiance striker right now. Like that's, and my theory, I don't know if you heard my theory, but my theory is that either Craig or someone like in the scouting department or whatever, like broached that to him as if it was like a valid plan to get out of this. And I think he might have just been like, dude, I'm not having that right now. Don't say that to me. Like you got to go get like an actual, but then it came across like he was like Mark Bronick. Like,
he handled that badly.
Yeah.
Which is not usual for Schmetzer. He's definitely feeling it right now because he is not acting the way he normally does in press conferences. Like he is feeling the heat right now. That is definitely true. And like before, like I'll say like a lot of times, like what is he supposed to do? And like who are we going to get that's better than him at this point? Because right now, since ownership is doing nothing, it's like literally no one is better than him right now. And he might, if this keeps going, it's like, they're gonna fire him before they lose their job, before they quit or they are forced to leave. But that being said, like Schmetzer has made some bad decisions recently. Like today, I would have started Osaze. Like Musovski he was like okay, but
that whole situation is such a joke right now.
Osaze is younger. He's the one who actually has a future. Musovski is going down. Like Musovski is after here, he's probably just retiring. Osaze could go somewhere else. He could do something more. And he just needs confidence. So I would rather we play Osaze up top because he needs confidence. And I thought he looked pretty good when he came in. Other lineup moved Kim did play better than he played last game against Vancouver because he was the reason we give up that goal to Vancouver, the first goal. But still, he wasn't good. And like Stu Hawkins, actually, I don't like Stu Hawkins, but like he should be starting over Jackson Reagan right now. Like
you got to be coming around at this point. Stu Hawkins is the best attacker on the team.
I mean, Jackson Reagan. I thought for sure he was done when the stretcher, like before the stretcher came out.
What Gianni was talking about with that whole situation, because when it first happened, I was like, all right,
I thought he was
there
done.
Goes another one to the hamstring gods.
I mean, his seats.
He made it 1 minute further than Ferreira, but then he got up. Yeah. He looked fine. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't just take him out, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, well, the first time he went down, that was like right in front of me, and I thought it was bad from the start. So I was shocked that he came back into the game. But at the moment, he's just playing like ass. I mean, he made a better decision. He made better decisions this time than the last time we played Austin, which still he should have apologized for that red card because still one of the dumbest decisions ever. But like Stu should be starting over him. Stu should at least be starting over Kim Keehee, who just looks old every time. And
Stu, Tino, Galantine, like
Stop playing Tino out of position.
If there
like
was
Tino,
one thing where you had been playing Kim and he's like blatantly playing better than the younger guys, then I would understand it more. But he's not. He's 36, and they're all of them are playing pretty well. I think all the young guys to some degree, or another.
And Tino was playing out of position in midfield. I thought he played very well in the midfield, but he has been playing better in defense. So I would like at this point to start. I mean, I would start Tino and Hawkins, which is crazy since I've been giving Hawkins so much crap. Other people playing out of position, like I thought the move at halftime to bring in. I mean, Snyder looked great when he came in. Snyder continues to show he has the best
that's a genuine
class.
positive from tonight is that Snyder came on, and Snyder's been having growing pains the last few weeks, and
Snyder has the most technical skill out of anyone on the team.
Oh, you
now.
finally
Like,
got
he's
to
so
like
good.
see him doing his Snyder stuff tonight with like the fun footwork and the passing, and like that was nice to see. And it genuinely, like, the offense did look better with him on the field. I thought it wasn't great, but it was better.
But still making KKR play on the wing when I would say he is primarily a right back, and Kingston, who his best position when he was playing for Ballard and for UW was when he was on the wing. And I mean, we saw him put a couple good balls when he did get forward in this game, but let him play the wing and then play KKR there, or play Alex Rodon back. I did not think KKR was that great today. And the fact that he stayed on longer than Peter Kingston was a travesty today. Like, did not like that switch. Another player that I want to say like Schmetzer, like you just don't believe in is this guy Zavi Ginalati. Like, he's the only guy who hasn't made it of the Defiance guys. He was on the bench for this game and the game against Vancouver and hasn't played in either games. And it's like, at this point, what do you have got to lose? Like, you're just keeping this guy on the bench, and he's like, is this my moment? This is my moment, and nothing. Like, what's the point of that? Like, just like you do,
just in case you get 8 more hamstring injuries, which could always happen with this.
And the short-term loan, like that still counts as a short-term loan. It doesn't count as like a game played in that, but it's still part of a short-term loan. So again, it's like he just doesn't believe in this guy, but he believes him enough for him to get the first team call up. But I mean, just again with the I wanted to comment on what James was saying about Rusnák. Like, I do think he's pushing too hard on Rusnák, or saying that Rusnák, if we pay him out,
Brigade's not going to like this.
If we pay him out and like give him a $1 million, like he'll go. It's crazy to say that when he is actually on the field. Like, he is the DP. Like, we got to rework his contract, but there are 2 other DPs that we got to retool their contract first, because they're not even playing and they're not even saying anything.
He does play.
Rusnák, he shows up.
You cannot like how he plays, and you can say he's lazy when he plays, but he does play.
And I know where Rusnák is. I don't know where the fuck Morris is. Like, Morris should be at. I'm of the belief that, I mean, I love the Sounders game. I will show up to every Sounders game still, and I'm not getting paid by the team to be at the game. Morris is legit getting paid to be at the game. So, like, yeah, he has 2 kids. He has a life. But show up, bro. We need Morris Cam in the stadium. Like, he should be there.
I don't know if he was here tonight. I did see De La Vega in the press box. I caught a very brief glimpse of him. He was here.
Love that for Pedro. I mean, and Pedro, at least, like, Pedro put out that post that Pedro put out about getting injured again.
Almost
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, I like, we got to move on from him because it hasn't worked out. But I believe that he cares about the team. He actually posts. We haven't seen a post from Morris about like, oh, I'm so sad to be here in so long.
I would say in his defense, like he's done the whole posting thing. I think he's over it. I think he's like, dude, I've been rehabbing and posting about rehabbing for like 2 years.
I did, but like I would rather him do it. Like, yeah, I feel that we've seen a lot of the documentary of like I'm a childhood. This is my boyhood club, and like
And the
I've been with
documentary
the
of
team.
he's rehabbing his ACL, he's
We've seen
rehabbing his ACL again, he's rehabbing his hamstring, he did the hamstring again, he's rehabbing that. Like all that content's been done. Like at this point, I don't know.
We don't need another documentary, but I would like to see that exist because that means that he's getting and he's getting paid enough where he doesn't need more money. Like he is set. His 2 kids are set already. He doesn't need more money. So he can take a pay cut and that is what would help the team. So yeah, take the pay cut again, Morrison. We got to deal with Morrison, De La Vega, the people who aren't on the field before we deal with Rusnák. I want to ask, do you know where Gonzo Pineda is right now?
Wasn't he coaching in Liga MX or did he get fired?
I don't remember. Like
I'll Google it really quick. Why are you asking if he wants to come coach?
Well, I'm just wondering. Like, I was thinking about like who.
Oh, he must have got sacked. Sacked.
Well, it feels like there's lots of people who aren't. What feels like there aren't that many good coaching options. I'm like, what former Sounders could we have come coach the team again? Because that would be kind of fun if we got another Sounder to coach. Like
just talking through with Denny about Cifuentes with Portland. Like that's there's guys like that out there at a given time. Like
I mean, like yes, James Riley was coaching Battle FC. I don't know if James Riley is where we got to go next. But I mean, Gonzo, I feel like the fans would like that. He's still like he was here at an exciting time. I had a potentially delusional take that he got a raw deal at Atlanta United, and Atlanta United fans really didn't like that take. But look at I think he did. Where Atlanta United is at right now, and think about when they were under Gonzo. They were a lot better under Gonzo. They were entertaining under Gonzo. They were bad, but they scored a lot of goals and they were entertaining. Yeah. And like when he was there, like he like just missed the Atlanta bringing in players, and then they started getting people
He's a front office guy now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, but would he come back if he was asked, or could he come back? I don't know. Maybe he lost his license, or he'd have to get a new license. I don't know. Anyway, I should move. I'll be done for today. Since I don't know what's going to happen in Cincinnati. Like, maybe Pat Noonan will feel bad for us. And could Pat Noonan come back to coach the Sound? Do we think he likes the Sounders enough that he would come back to our organization?
Well, see, there's one where it's like was low key on the hot seat earlier this season. Not as much anymore. They've righted the ship a little bit. MLS experience. Played for the USL Sounders early 2000s for like a year, right? That's what you're referencing.
Right, he played for the MLS. He played for the MLS Sounders.
Oh, why did
Pat Noonan?
Pat Noonan? No. Okay, I had my eras wrong then, but he did. So he played for the team.
Yeah,
it was only for like a year or two, though, right?
Yeah, he was on. I think
Pat
he was
Noonan is
on
Sounders
the team
legend
in
that I don't know about. Now I got to look this up too, Nat. Jesus.
2009, 2010.
Okay.
2011. I believe maybe he was only
2011.
Yeah.
I could have sworn he was predated MLS, but no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, he was definitely
Most
of my facts is just the MLS era. I don't know before then, but like 2010, like when I know stats, 2010, 2014, that's my era. Let's get Chad Barrett to come coach us again.
I think he's doing broadcast work for RSL. But all right, Nat, you got any last takes, or should we get Hunch in here?
Let's get Hunch in here. And fire Hanauer, fire Weibo. Bye.
See you, man. Take care. All right, we got Hunch, we got Blake, we got Sean, we got Caleb, we got Marco, and then that's going to be it for the night. But this is what the people have been waiting for. Let's get Hunch to the stage right now. Hunch, what's up, man? You are on the stage. That is 8 losses in a row. What do you think about the state of affairs right now, man?
I mean, I didn't expect much better, much different. tonight. If I'm being honest, I didn't think this was going to be the get it right game. I did like, at least in the first half, where on their goal kicks we're pressing 4, like right on top of their box. We had 2 to cover their 2 center backs in the box with the goalkeeper, and then 2 covering the 2, I'll say, midfielders right outside. Like, we were not giving them an inch. I did like that. People associate possession with performance and control with possession, therefore dominance. I think it's okay to have a game where you don't have possession but still look more dangerous. And for a while we did. I thought we gave up some more shots to them in the first half, but well before they scored, we were leading in the shots. Meaning by the time we got into the second half and kind of righted some more things, we were getting looks at the very least.
Early second half, they had 4 shots on target in like 10 minutes, Hunch. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
look at these guys.
Right.
Yeah. You shot the ball at the goalkeeper and he saved it, but you kicked it at him at the step.
Well, I'll take that every day over the ones that we keep sailing over the goal because you force them to make a play. And
the goalkeeper did. Honestly, like there's been not
like an all-star every time we play him
going on. Like the chance generation has not been there, but their goalkeeper made at least 2 saves tonight where I was like, all right, I mean, that was a good chance, good shot. Like he made a play.
That's been the last 4 times we played Austin. We make their goalkeeper look like an all-star.
Yeah.
Every time. God, there's so many thoughts. I mean, I don't know, Brian getting bristly at asking about Reagan. I mean, dude went down and had a stretcher come out and then ultimately went down and was subbed off to get asked about whether or not he's injured and just be, he's fine. It's like, dude went down twice and was almost carted off. It's reasonable to ask. Like,
yeah, I thought it looked like a serious injury. And then I'm not going to lie, like when he did go down and had to come off, I T-bowed a little bit, Hunch. I was like,
oh, you weren't the only one. Andrew ran all the way from his goal off the sideline to the coaching bench and had a 30-second conversation. I took a photo of it while Jackson's down. Like, even he's thinking, okay, we're going to be here a minute. This isn't good. What he was asking about, but whatever he needed to, he came over and was like getting correct on something because there was something that was concerning, like if Jackson goes out, who's coming in, or we're going to be down a man. I don't know what he's asking about, but it was enough that he ran all the way down the field to the bench to have a conversation.
There's no way he plays this weekend.
I can't imagine it. And well, so let's carelessly jump to that topic. You're going to see now if we had sold Reagan, what this team would look like. Because the last conversation in the previous one is like, oh, let's trade Reagan while he's high. Okay, well, you're gonna get your wish.
That was me who said that.
Oh yeah, I was like, well, now you're gonna get your wish. What I would like to say, I
wasn't advocating for it necessarily. I was pontificating on ideas.
So let's pontificate on where we could get value, and if this person truly is valuable, because everybody seems to think he's good. Why don't we trade / sell Nouhou? Is he not at the peak of his game? That would not open us up in the center back position or on the defensive line. If we hadn't gotten rid of RBW, that'd be an easy slot in right there. But I
was gonna say, like, honestly, like I wouldn't be against that if RBW was still on the team, which he's not famously.
But let's talk about him in terms of value, because that dude was a freaking ghost, and I'm tired of the defenders of him. Like,
of who?
Nouhou.
Oh,
yeah, like. I don't need to prove my point, and I'm not against any player. Like, I'm just not. I like, there are players who don't live up to their potential, and there are players who are liabilities, and then there are players who aren't the right fit. And there's players that I can like, but I can still be critical of them. I liked Nouhou for years. I liked Rusnák for years. That time has come and gone. And my point being is this. Nouhou is such a non-threat that even the other team doesn't defend him. he will be open by 20 yards in every direction because everyone knows he's just a non-threat moving up that side. That's not true of our right backs, whether it's Alex or KKR or whoever else. But to the further point, if you go back and if somebody wanted to be a deep dive journalist on this, you could look at the left back or the left wingers who have died on the vine playing in front of Nouhou over the years and how they have had no support in any kind of way, from reliability to a 1-2 connection to passing to whatever, that we have cycled through so many because they're basically left out there to die by themselves with no support directly behind them. When we had Jovan Jones and even when we had Brad Smith back there, there was at least a cohesive or connectivity nature to the situation. Now we have who's dying to sprint the field, and I go back and watch this game. He'll make a run through. No defender will even go with him. Like, it's not even a good dummy because it's not pulling someone out because no one thinks, one, we're going to pass it to him, and two, that he's a threat. It's a freaking joke. And the thing that doubles down and makes it worse, dude just walks his ass back. He makes the sprint up to the field to a dummy run, and then we're open on the left wing. And it's like, Paul, you better cover back because guess who isn't going to do it? I feel bad for Paul. Dude is getting exhausted out there. The same is true in terms of like not passing Nouhou. And I get people wanting to bag on Musovski, and I'm not his biggest fan. Matter of fact, I wasn't on his bandwagon even until he performed last year. And I was like, well, he delivered. Like, we can't argue with that. He's the guy who is meant to make the breakaways and the through balls punishing. And he's not getting that service. He's not a come back and hold up play forward. That's not what he does. He's tip of the spear, push the defense, make them think, make them press the offensive or the offside line, make them defend on those narrow crosses. And he is open in the middle so many times on the through balls, and we just won't do it. And chief amongst them, Rusnák won't do it. And it's just like the number of times Rusnák should have made a pass tonight instead of shooting. And the number of times he shot and like literally hit somebody like 3 feet in front of him. Holy crap, dude. Your job, Rusnák's job, as that 10 spot is to facilitate moving the ball from the back to the front and assisting. And then if you do that effectively, everyone's so worried about you being able to open someone up. You become open to take a shot and then become a threat yourself. He has got the opposite impression. I get the ball here. I don't see my passes. I'm taking a shot. Thud, 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 thud. Like, it's just, oh my God. It drives me crazy, man. Not that these aren't good players, not that they aren't capable in certain roles, but they're liabilities in the positions that they occupy on the field. And I think it's been more than fair to say that other teams have scouted their deficiencies, and they absolutely play us up to that. And it's disheartening. It's disheartening. And so we take equity out in our young players by making them run to make up for it. At least that's my impression. And then we open them up to fatigue and injury. So I don't know. Stu Hawks look good. Obviously, he should be starting over Kim. Kim didn't look terrible, but he does look dated.
It's not even really about how he looks, man. It's about just like you have young guys that might be a factor into the future that are actually playing well, and they're certainly not getting outplayed by.
Well, that's what I don't understand.
The guy or the White House guy. Like, it's like you may as well just let the young guys cook, right?
That's what I don't understand is if we're in this experimental phase, like, what's the worst we can do? Lose again? Mindset.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Then why aren't we
might lose a game? Like,
why aren't we getting chops and cycles and chemistry in on this team that would be potentially be the going forward composition, right? Like, why are we not getting cycle? Like, Kim building chemistry with Rusnák, where does that get us? Stu Hawkins building chemistry with Brunel, building chemistry with Kingston on the wing, like, that pays dividends in the short season next year and potentially in the full season after that, right? Like, I mean, presumably. So what are we doing?
I remember going into the Philly game, and I think it was Stu and Tino starting, and then And I was like, oh man, that's like, I think this is like some of their first like MLS action. Tino had probably played a little bit more, but Stu really hadn't. And then I was like, wait a minute, these guys have been grinding MLS Next Pro together for like 5 years. Like they already have reps. Like I kind of feel like they are well positioned to be able to hold their own here. And then lo and behold, when you put them out there in an MLS game, you give that experience, they improve and they start to look better. So there's no reason to like be like not facilitating that at this point. But anyway, Hunch, I got to work through the queue. But give us one more take to bring it on.
I'm going to take an aside here and address something that's going in the comments.
Yeah.
I got into let's just call it a spirited debate in real time that involved the announcer from the stadium, James, Taylor Twelman, the PR of MLS, and myself. And Albert's last name is pronounced Rusnák. And back on the Hell site that I used to belong to, there's a press conference where he pronounces his own last name, and it's Rusnák. And I get that no one's ever going to call him that, and I get that the stadium's never going to call him that, but that's how he pronounces his own last name.
I remember him saying in the presser that it was Rusnák. That's why I switched.
Nope.
No?
And if I went back to Twitter and like dug that shit up, I could find it. But in real time, in a real game, I went and dug that up, referencing James. James is the in-stadium announcer, referencing the press conference from when during COVID when Rusnák was introduced or whatever, him pronouncing his own last name. So neither here nor there, but I go with what the man said himself. So
that's what I thought I was doing, Hunch. God damn it.
Last point.
Yeah.
Referencing two callers before, and I can't remember both of them. Nat was one of them, and then the guy before that, who fantastic call by him, the previous journalist, talking about Brian and the evolution of coaching. I've brought it up before, and even hinting at Gonzalo. What Brian had done and is failing to do now is to develop a coaching bench that could give him that perspective. And I'll point it out to you as this. Look at those coaches we've lost and what they've gone on to in the duration where we were successful, and look at our coaching bench now and think, do you think there's any threat of even going to some other team as an assistant coach for anyone on our coaching staff? Maybe Tommy Dutra. That would be it. Everyone else, they could fade into oblivion. We don't have interesting prospects / voices in the room, which is what Brian needs. No offense. If he can't see it for himself, that's fine. To bring up the mindset and mentality and strategy of what's missing in this team to present something different. Gonzalo got him to think more possession, and we did, and we've never let it go. And now here we are with none of those coaches on this staff anymore. And I think if the head coach can't make those changes, then it becomes a more serious conversation.
I think Preki is a guy that could have more MLS interest than we realize, but just likes this team and coaching.
If that was true, why are we constantly struggling on offense? Like, how have we not developed offensive players? Why has Jordan Morris not developed anything other than run fast? Like, if he's the offensive genius, why have our offensive players not developed and become more threatening on offense? I'm not discrediting Preki. I don't know the guy that well, but I've not seen it, and we've not taken anyone and signed them away. The people we've signed away have been midfielders and defenders. We've not signed away any offensive players, which to me says, where's the development on the first team? But I can go off of what I can see, and that doesn't look like dividends to me. Oh, seriously, last point. Somebody put it out on the subreddit, a quote from Adrian. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Okay, you did? Did you reference it?
No, I haven't. I haven't referenced it.
Adrian Hanauer in 2019, if it gets to the point where I'm an owner who can't put the Sounders in position to win championships, I'm going to find an owner, a set of owners who can do that. Now, I don't know the source if that's a legit thing. I'm sourcing this person who quoted Adrian.
No, it's legit. He told that to No Sadietas, I want to say, like years ago, like 2018.
I can't think of a more apt situation. Like, there should be a banner in the stadium from now on, and somebody bringing that up. But anyway, I'll let it go. I know you got more people. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you, Hunch, as always. Take care, man. Have a good one. All right, we got Sean, we got Sticks, we got Marco, we got Blake, and then that's going to do it for the night. Sean, what's up, man? You're on the stage. It's 8 losses in a row. The squad's a disaster. The owner is broke. It's bad. What did you think of the game tonight?
I was making salsa, and I looked down and was like, yeah, I can continue to cook because we're not cooking on the field. So it is what it is. You look at the lineup, you understand we're going to have a real tough time competing even against the worst team in the Western Conference.
At home, yeah.
It doesn't matter anywhere.
That's the thing. Like I in my opening monologue, I was talking about like, second half, the offense looked like mildly better, I guess, but it's like at home against one of the worst teams in the league. So it doesn't really, I can't even cope.
This game was at least it's not 22-0. So I guess that's good.
True.
For those who don't know, just don't watch baseball. So I will make this quick. I took some notes. The caller from the offside, all of their points, right on the mark, kind of where I wanted to go with what I wanted to talk about. Moose isn't a hold-up player. Rusnák can't do everything on his own, and he's on an island. Schmetzer is a manager. That's a really good question. I think that's the one that hurts me the most.
Yeah.
And as a fan is like, I was lucky enough to know some people in the organization when Siggy was let go, and he had a very small gathering somewhere. And I showed up there, met his wife, met him.
I was at that, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Like I ran home, put on a jersey, and shook his hand and told him how much I loved him, and just to know that sports is sports, right? That was a tough decision. I would hate to see that happen to Brian, and we're close. I think we're closer than we want to accept.
Yeah, man, like hopefully if that situation does come to fruition, they find some way to do it that's not like unceremonious. And I have to imagine like, because even if it does go down in flames and ends poorly, I mean, it's been a goddamn hell of a ride, man. I don't think we should all forget that. Like this freaking trophy case is packed in large part because of that guy. Nothing that happens this year changes that, no matter how bad it gets. Like that stuff is in the books. So if there's any actual big picture cope to be had, it's this. But it's also we might get there. We might be closer than we think, like you said, but we are not there yet. So we still have to see what happens. But it is.
I hope not. I don't want that to be the case.
No, I don't think anyone wants that.
I want to see Schmetzer leave on his own terms.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. And again, we touched on this. So in my notes, the CBA, the ownership, there's so many things that are really dark clouds that no one can, unless you're in the room with the ownership group, right? No one really knows what's going on. Is Adrian ready to like hang it up? I don't know. An owner that is hanging out on the training pitch all the time.
Oligarch class never. No, they can't hang it up. Like part of like getting to that level of oligarch is like having such pride and ego that you would never acknowledge it if you were part of a downfall. Like they're not capable of that. Like, and I realize that he is like considered like the broke portion of oligarch class, but he's still in there. Like, so.
Yeah, and whomever replaces him, if ownership does change, right? They're just going to be bigger and more hungry and want more, and will burn whatever bridges they need to win. So, just going back to the Brian point, like, are we in the sunset of our golden years? Is this it? I hope not. I hope that this is just a bit of a storm and we're going to have to ride it out.
That's what we're going to find out over the next couple months, I guess. It feels like everything's teetering right now, but part of me tries to be like, think about what happened in 2016, or not even that. It's just we've seen time and again in this league with other clubs where stuff can change on a dime, man. You can look like the worst team in the league, and then all of a sudden a week later look like the best team in the league. But like, this team can't win a game right now. They can't win a game against anybody. They can't win a game against at home. They can't win a game against Austin FC, who's not good. Like, so there's no way I could sit here and confidently say like, oh, this is just a storm that will pass. They'll turn it around. I don't know that.
Yeah. And typically it was the start of the season, right? It's like, don't worry, second half, we'll turn it up. Well, we're doing it backwards right now. It's not right.
It's crazy that this team was 7-1-3.
Yeah.
Like, it was good.
I'll keep it quick. It's been a while. It's been a night. Kim Kiki starting. No, like, I want to hammer that along with the chorus. I loved bringing him back, but he should be coming in at the 70th minute when we're in the lead, right?
Yeah.
Like, start the kids right now. See if they can swim.
You're losing every game anyway. You may as well lose while learning about the players.
Yeah, it's okay. And maybe this is the game that forces the discussion of, okay, we don't have to worry about it. Let's start the kids. We'll see.
We'll see. Well, Sean, great stuff, man. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate it. And
and best of luck. Been a member for a few months, I think, a year.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And just keep it up. It's been great.
We will.
Thanks.
Take care, man. Thanks for the call. All right. We got Caleb. We got Marco. We got Blake. Caleb's at his drum set. He's got his De La Vega jersey on his bass drum. He's ready to cook. Caleb, what's up, my guy? Welcome in. 8 L's in a row. Can the boys make it to 10? We're going to find out. What'd you see? What'd you think?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before anything, we have to do the tradition, which if you have not yet, you please like, share, and subscribe to this video, and subscribe to this beautiful channel, independent channel, so we can all have a beautiful community and unity in our soccer community. So I just want to get that off that. But I would like to say this. If I was ever appointed GM, I would absolutely, this isn't anything mean. I would absolutely put James on my staff. I would absolutely, because as much as there's such an Avengers civil war going on between the fans, I believe that I think we should check ourselves and sort of actually having more of a unity instead of a shouting match of who's a bigger brigader, or who's a better I told you so. So I would absolutely put James on my staff, if I was ever general manager for that. So just to put that out there. The game was absolutely lethargic, but I'm glad that I gave Stu Hawkins 6 for a reason. Stu Hawk is he's doing Stu Hawk things, and just hearing what the fans are saying about the coaching staff with Brian, and this is basically a repeat of what have I said for years, for months on this show. I said that Brian has not been able to breathe the Emerald City breath because he's been surrounded by other things. This has not been, to be honest, I don't think Brian's really have had a fair trial, which to the other point where it's just somebody said that I think James said it, that he left, that Garth left the club to burn out to dry because he knew what was going to happen in the future. And I'm yeah, look at what, which to my point, I think the conspiracy comes to me about saying that Ziggy knew Garth's BS and he used Brian as a scapegoat. I'm gonna die on that hill like for a long time for that, because I really do feel like Ziggy had something that it was it, because again, if you heard, like we've already had there was already problems with Ziggy and Garth. There was already beef already between them. And for, of course, Garth being head guy, I'm like, of course, you have all the the power to to cut whoever. And then it was just, I say this as an outsider because, like I said, I've never lived in Seattle. I'm just an outsider, but like I said, I've been an outsider of a Sounders fan. But I just see this perspective of just wow, this isn't Brian and Ziggy have not really been able to breathe Emerald City-ness, or having the coaches that really gives them that Emerald City breath. It's to be, like I said, it just continues to feel like the RSL 2.0 saga that is absolutely suffocating the continuity and the fluidity in this club. And I would say this for my future manager, if Brian leaves, I know this is a little bit of a far fetch, but I will continue to say it. I would love to see Daniel Fark take a crack at this, especially for our club specifically, because Daniel Fark, what he did with Norwich and what he's done in the championship was absolutely put up numbers and put up a good fight and a good method, and it keeps the German machine running, because I think it breathes better life into that. Weibel needs to really needs to speak on something, because this isn't looking good for him. You lost to Matthew McConaughey FC. That's absolutely an embarrassment.
Oh man, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, we lost to Matthew McConaughey FC. Yeah. The guy that basically did this from Angels in the Outfield. We could absolutely just we lost to that guy and his club. And also to go back on Tribes, we did actually lose by 2 goals to Austin. And that was in our red Bruce Lee kits. And that was when I think Albert was first coming at the 10, because I remember that. And it was at home at Lumen Field, because we lost to Austin.
They were a better squad back then, though. This squad is not good. They had
But I'm just saying,
Driussi.
And that it doesn't matter. It's we still lost. Like you said, if he doesn't remember the losses, you got to remember those losses. As for me, as a stat hound that I am, I had to give that clarity, because as he says, he doesn't remember, and the people don't remember, and be like, hey, I remember that, because that was an embarrassment to be wow, we used to bully Austin. We used to absolutely bully the absolute dog shit out of them. And now they're absolutely just coming in and getting our lick back. I really feel John Bell, I really felt bad, because I was just I wanted to see him succeed for us. But I'm just now he's on Austin, walking away, now with a happy 3 points. But this is with the whole center back, dropping. I was just John Bell could have been a very good thing. But I would love to see. I think John Bell and Stuart Hawkins was an absolute a duo back in the day. I would love to see that, and I would love to advocate for that, because that would be basically the Yamar Jackson 3.0 or 2.0 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if you have any other thing, any last questions before I have a last take, because I know you got other callers.
Yeah, no, give your last take, and then I got to work through these last 2 calls. They might shut off these stadium lights off me on any second, guys. So we'll see. But give one more, and then we'll get Blake and Marco in here to close it out.
I'd have to say, like I said, just the fans. I know we're pissed, but let's just let's keep behind our boys. You know, and like I said, if like, hey, like I'm honored, like always, to like be on this platform and on this show with you guys. I mean, and again, I apologize for if I was a little bit outrageous on my last episode of like, you know, the egregious, like, you know, like about the ball sack and stuff. So, but like I do apologize for that. But
You're good.
but again, like again, great job for you guys, and I really hope to see you guys real soon, because I just bought my ticket and I'm going to be getting coming to the Emerald City really soon. So I look forward to that.
Hell yeah, awesome. See you here, Caleb. Thanks for tapping in, and we'll catch you on the next one this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Take care. All right, we're gonna get Blake in here. We're gonna get Marco in here, and then that's gonna be it. No one else tap in. These are the last two. Blake, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Welcome in.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. The squad just lost its 8th in a row. It's a disaster. The owner's broke. What'd you see? What'd you think?
Yo, I love what Caleb said. Love what Nat said. But I'm not here to be a tactical guy. I'm here to be an overall, overarching guy. And it's not even a joke anymore where we're at. It's not even the point of discussion anymore where we're at. It's disgusting where we're at. And before I say anything about that, I just want to say, like and subscribe. If you don't follow Lobbing Scorchers, this is the only MLS platform where fans get to call in and we get to speak our mind. And thank you, Ari, so much for what you do, because you're putting in the work to give us the platform to speak our mind. And I can never be more grateful for that. So as a 17,
just one correction. Happy Foot, Sad Foot also does call in shows, but I think we're the only two.
I really don't give a fuck about what LAFC does. All I wanted to do was show this picture of Sebastian Letou to Blake, Sebastian Letou, and guess what? The shoes he's wearing, I have one of those shoes right here. So I didn't want to have to do that, but as soon as the bobblehead of Christian Roldan came out, I broke that out. The narrative has been set. All of our top players are on the injury list. We've already sold the bottom line. Everyone's been saying that. What I wanted to address is what I've spoken here on before is that it's the medical staff, but I want to make clear that it's the performance staff. If you go to our coach's website on sounders.com, the performance coaches are in charge of bringing our players up to their full potential. And it is the medical staff who are receiving these injured players, but it is the performance coaches who are in charge of coaching the players on how to train for how to play the best on the field. And the performance coaches, their product is players not getting injured. But what do we have? We have all of our top players being injured. And this is an issue. So, you could go to their website, you could name those coaches and be like, what the hell? You could also go to the website and be like, hey, medical staff, what's going on? But I call myself incorrected. I don't think it's the medical staff. I think it's the performance coaches. And I miss when we were uninjured, and I miss Pineda. And I would be concerned about our front of house. And I just come on here just to be particular about who we're talking about. And I would say it's the performance coaches. I don't really get why they're called that. I don't get what the difference is between the medical staff, but I would be concerned about those names, and you can look them up. I agree with what Nat said, what I've said before. The club is the relationship between the players and the fans, and that's what Brian Schmetzer has said. And I would love to see Jordan or any of the chronically injured players speak out to the player or speak out to the fans and be like, I get it. Jordan has done his documentary or whatever, but what are you doing through the Ray Foundation? What are you doing to speak to the fans to tell you, oh, I'm making millions of dollars, but also while I'm injured, I would like to be contributing to the relationship to the fans by doing so-and-so. We haven't heard shit. Jordan Schmetzer, Jordan Morris, he's a dad now. He's geriatric.
He has his foundation too. I think maybe that's his community.
Sure, but I haven't been the target of that.
People seem to want like a Jordan statement, I guess. I'm not as passionate about that. I feel like he's been there, done that with all. Last year when he came back, he posted on IG and was like, "What a road it's been back. I'm so excited to get back at it." And then he just got hurt again. I don't know what he's supposed to say.
It is shit. I don't know what he's supposed to say, but I would love to see some impact for the dollars that we are spending on him. If he's not on the field, what are players who are injured doing to contribute to the relationship to the fans? It could be a message. It could be, I'm doing community service. Even though you're injured, you could do some shit. So I expect the highest out of our players, and I expect that our players who are injured to be contributing to the Ray Foundation or communicating to the players more. And so I don't have a tactical take. That's what I have. And so I know you've been on for a while. I have more about Schmetzer. I have more about our, transfer decisions, but I leave it up to you, Ari, if you want to go on.
Blake, good stuff, man. I'm going to get Marco in here, and then we're going to call it a night. But
take care. Thank you, Ari, for everything that you do.
I got you, man. Take care. Okay. All right. We got Marco and then some super chats, and then that's going to be it for tonight. Marco, you're last in the queue. Welcome in, man. The squad has lost 8 straight games. The owner's broke. It's bleak. What do you think of the state of affairs?
First of all, can you hear me okay? I've got some. All right, perfect. I just wanted to say that I think Schmetzer lost the locker room.
Really? Why do you say that?
How do you lose to the Timbers 5-1 after the World Cup break? Right.
That's a great question. I've been asking myself that question every day for weeks since it happened.
I think he lost the locker room because in the first part of the season, he put a lot of effort into Christian making the World Cup team. And the other players noticed.
Ooh, you're kind of cooking, Marco.
The other players noticed, and they felt that during the World Cup, Christian played 0 minutes in the World Cup and came back uninspired.
Injured. He came back. He got injured at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, the team came back uninspired because all this effort to make Christian look good, and he didn't play a single minute, got injured, and he can't even come back to support the team. Schmetz was talking about Christian a lot during his post-game interviews. Even in the preseason, they told Hassani Dotson to play more of an 8 because he's naturally a 6. Schmetz kind of cut that off and was like, no, Christian's playing the 6.
You might be onto something. You might
I
be
think he
on.
lost the locker room, and so it's just been just ongoing since then.
I haven't got the vibe that he's lost the locker room. Yeah, you could be onto something. You could be onto something. I think when a coach really, really loses a locker room, it's evident on the field in ways that, like the 5-1 to Portland's the only one of these L's where I look at it and I'm like, the guys look stoned right now. Like, what is going on? The rest of them, you can see that they are. I mean, they're trying. Like when you lose the locker room, that's when guys like check out and stop trying. I don't know if that's why they're losing these games. I don't think they're checked out. I don't think they're not trying. I think they don't have the personnel to be competitive right now. So, but like that, if he hasn't lost the locker room yet, if you lose every single game, you're probably going to eventually. So it's like kind of like a matter of time situation, unless they can turn this around. But I like you're cooking on a different train of thought than most of us have been. I like the theorizing.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I used to be a season ticket holder because I used to live in Seattle and it was easier to get to the games. And just the way Obed and Christian would play, they would shadow each other a lot. So I thought it was weird hearing Schmetzer say, like, trying to release Hassani Dotson in the preseason to play a different position, because Obed and Christian would always play kind of closer to each other, and so they would always kind of have each other's backs.
Oh man,
Like,
that double pivot was so good, man. I could watch those guys play all day, every day.
yeah,
They were like connected in the minds. It's like such a contrast from how disjointed everything looks with this team right now. They used to be just so connected, like the double pivot, the midfield in possession, and then also the press, which is like totally bunk now. Like it used to be so good, just like torpedoed, man.
yeah. And another thing I'd say is, like Jackson Reagan, they didn't let him go to that camp, and so he never got a shot at the national team. So that's someone that's like kind of impacted by.
He admitted that he was tilted about that.
Yeah. So like seeing the special attention for Christian to make the team.
Ooh. This is we got to get the Seattle Sounders reality show back going. Remember last year when they were the Crash Out Red Card Boys and we called them the Seattle Sounders reality show? Like we need Hard Knocks with the Sounders in the middle of their game losing streak.
I mean, the Seahawks probably took that on because they were trying to sell the team. Sounders should take that on so we could get a Richard owner.
I said that I was down for the Seahawks oligarchs to buy this team, and people didn't like that take. But I mean, I don't know. Like all that matters is that it's someone who has a lot of money, right, and is willing to spend it, and also doesn't try and like overstep there. Aside from that, like, what's the difference from one oligarch to another? It's the same shit. I don't know. That's just
yeah.
But anyway, Marco, I got to call it a wrap for the night. But you got any last takes you want to get out there to bring us home?
Nah. I mean, everyone's hurt, so we'll see how things.
That's true. Maybe Christian gets healthy. Jordan gets healthy. I know that's going to make people's heads explode. Christian gets Georgian Mordon. What did they used to call themselves? Get the dynamic duo back in action, and then this team can probably average 1.25 points per game, which is a lot more than they're averaging right now, which is 0.0.
Yeah.
But all right, Marco, good stuff, man. Have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one.
You too.
Here. All right, I'm going to work through these super chats. Noah's right. Y'all are psychos for having me go 2.5 hours after that game. But that's, again, man, that's why I love you guys. There's a lot of jewels to work through here. I don't know. We got the Sounder 74 jewels. We got the Nat jewels. We got the Hunch jewels. Got the Azarada jewels. Thank you guys for all the jewels. Ryan's got jewels. Hebrew Hammer's got jewels. Azarada's got more jewels. How many goddamn jewels? Thanks for all the jewels, guys. Much appreciated. James says, thanks for the vent session. Webble out, Hanauer out. Thank you, James. Hunch with the 10. Thank you, Hunch. Appreciate you. This is the last one. He says, Ari, under the lights for now. I know, man. I owe you guys one. Maybe I'll do that like tomorrow or Friday or something. Got to do another show, I guess, before Cincy. He says, great show. Always love the community, even if we have differences. You know, man. Oh, Azurata with more jewels. Times are tough right now, but it's bringing us closer together, okay? When you've been in hell like this, we're in the deepest, darkest layer of hell. When you're in hell like this, future adversity doesn't affect you as much. When you've been in the trenches like we have for the last 8-9 games, there's no future struggles that are going to get to us. In all seriousness, appreciate you guys continuing to tune in, call in, engage with the content, even when the team's not doing well. I think that is something that is unique about this fan base and our community within the fan base. We're here, win, lose, draw. I don't care if this team loses every game for the rest of their existence, for the rest of time. I'll still be here. I'll still be here on this godforsaken channel, in this godforsaken press box. Lose every game. See if I'm going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. They'll win another game again at some point, I think, one day. Philip closing it out with the 20 bomb. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Please sub to the channel and like the video. And most importantly, subscribe at lobbingscorchers.com. More written content on the way. Let's see. I wrote a big Pedro de la Vega assessing. Okay, here, I did this last time. Give me some more clicks, guys, if you haven't. I'm going to drop this in chat. Assessing Pedro de la Vega's legacy. Wrote that one last week. We're also doing some Damian Downs content. Noah was blogging today about Damian Downs. I have a little Damian Downs write up. We're blogging. We're writing, we're blogging, we're chilling, we're vibing. Subscribe, lobbingscorchers.com. If you want to be a paid sub, that's honestly the number one best way to support the show right now as we try and get our independent venture off the ground. But if you don't or cannot do that, if you don't want to or you can't do that, being a free sub is a phenomenal way to support the show as well. We need as many of those as possible. So whatever you can do. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I got to catch my goddamn train home. They're about to turn the lights off at the stadium. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Talk soon. Peace.